Hey there, friends. Today I'm covering someone new, which is Seb Lowe, and I don't know if that is a dude or a band. I know that it is there are multiple members of the band. I don't know if the group is called Seb Lowe or if that's the main person's name. So apologies in advance for not knowing anything. I basically picked this because on those playlists, those day playlists that Spotify makes for you, ones that I've read on them often have this guy as well. The ones that are British Renaissance rage poetry, Saturday afternoon, whatever the fuck, just weird ass compilations they make. Apologies for the cough. It continues. It may continue forever based on the last several years of my life. I don't want to think about it. So I figured I would check out this dude and picked The Royal Family because I just thought it sounded like a fun title, and I saw that it did have a music video. So let's go. Hopefully this is good. Let's hope it's good. I'm in. Let's go.
You have been cordially invited to pay allegiance to the king and his cracked out family happily. I'll sing to the rooftops, your majesty, sing about the fact that you're the product of a rapidly dying country. The news is loud, obsessed with money when there's none to go around. Disparity.
Okay. I'm already kind of into this, I'm not gonna lie. I love that he's this is the lead singer. I'm assuming this might be Seb. We're gonna stop with the name thing. Lead dude playing both the king and the commoner, we'll say, kind of confronting the king. I love that. Bless their hearts. I think it's so far well shot, as far as with the equipment they're using. But look, they're in England in the middle of a field. Shit's gonna get rainy. And I find that it's got a little bit of charm to it of whenever the camera is facing him. Obviously we've got, it's slightly different sky, but the sky actually I think it looks really cool. But there's a little bit of filter on the camera lens where clearly it had been raining. But then again, that makes it even more English, so it kind of works. They're supposed to pledge allegiance to the king, and he's just oh, we're fucked. Let's go.
And his cracked out family happily. I'll sing to the rooftops, your majesty, sing about the fact that you're the product of a rapidly dying country. The news is loud, obsessed with money when there's none to go around. Disparity, poverty, en masse.
the little affect he's putting on his accent to sound a bit more proper when he's the king is pretty fantastic. Again, also those little subtle performance things I love so much of when he's doing the king, it's all the everything about the body language is very just sort of flippant. Why am I even talking to you? What do you want? And then just him when he's the comment constantly kind of hands in his hair he's frustrated, he's just trying to be understood by this person that for reasons unknown to everyone somehow has some sort of power. I don't know why. That's so fascinating to me. My grandfather was from England, and I've been there before, but I grew up in America, and the idea of, not that I'm saying we're better in any way, especially right now, it's just a different thing of first of all, I don't know what it's like to live in a country that is that old, that has that much history. I also don't know what it's like to live in a country that has to deal with not only pieces of shit in charge of you, in parliament, but also these assholes that just the ones that get voted in for reasons unknown, and then there's the ones that it's just you're just stuck with, no voting necessary. They're born and fuck you. They get to be in charge. Why? Because shut up. That's why. It must be so strange and frustrating and weird, because what do they even do? I don't know enough to even talk about this probably. And I'm sure there's going to be stuff in this song that kind of go over my head as someone who doesn't know all the details of UK life, but it is just such a strange, it's just weird, right? Kings and such. And I love that they made they're in the middle of like a field. I love that it feels very this doesn't sound shitty because I don't mean it to be. Everything just being like, the desk and was it your desk? Yeah, the little table and the throne and everything. Because it's clearly low budget, it sort of adds to it in that it almost seems like kids playing, which I kind of like, which I think is actually a pretty good analogy of like what it feels like the royal family does anyway. It's just like, why are we still playing kings and queens here? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, I doubt that was on purpose, but I just find it very charming.
Have you fucking seen that? Of course you haven't seen that. No, we don't believe that. When we're flying the Union Jack, telling you we love you and your family and we've got your back, spending our money, where will you stand? All you're really gonna do is sit with a queen.
Oh shit! That's a good line. But it's true, it's just like, as a people, they're expected to sort of just constantly praise the royal family and just constantly tell them how they're doing, like, it's like how much they love them, which, to be fair, I am taking a lot of this based on, like, based on what I've seen in films, because that's really a lot of what I can base things on. I don't know what it's like to actually be there, and I don't know how much the royal family actually plays into your day-to-day life. Probably not very much. But it's very weird. I'm just like, we're supposed to tell you how much we love you while you just take a bunch of our money and then do nothing is stupid. I actually really like this song so far. I think there's a lot.
And all you're really gonna do is sit with a queen sat.
I don't know if we're meant to think that, like, if they just didn't want to deal with effects and he's meant to have, like, stabbed him or something like that, or it was truly just like, oh god, one of the poor touched me, I'd die. I kind of like that better. I hope that's the case. But it was just like, oh no, it got on me. That's pretty funny. Very rainy shot. Very rainy. Sorry, had to pause because coughing attack. Ha! If I stopped and just didn't record anything until I stopped coughing, who knows if I'd ever make a video again. So, it is what it is. Thanks, long COVID. Love you. It's been acting up lately. It's making me very upset. I'm trying not to think about it, except I can't, because my chest hurts all the time. Anyway, let's go.
Which tax haven were you conceived in? Bermuda. Father was on a retreat writing dystopian fiction about a socialist future. Dare I say,
and I love this. This is great. So Bermuda, I believe they don't have, I don't think they tax corporations there. It's one of those places that people, send money offshore and things like that. That's hilarious. And I love that he's going from, like, everything about him, just, like, very kind of, he's like, is he still royal? More just upper class, using that voice, that affect, which I remember thinking about. There's a series of documentaries. I think I just recently on YouTube. I've been reposting my old TikTok movie recommendations as I'm trying to move things over here. And I think I recently posted the one I did for the 7-Up series, which is the series of documentaries that started in the 60s. Yeah, I think so. With 7-Up, and then it goes 7 + 7, 14 Up, and it's every 7 years they do another one of these documentaries. They've been doing them since then. And it's a collection of it. The whole concept is like how much of who you are at 7 years old defines who you become as you grow. And so it's the same group of children, all from the UK, but all from different economic groups and things like that. And it's really interesting, the ones who are like incredibly posh from age 7 and like really very, very spoiled at all the best schools and things like that. It's really fascinating to see just how much those sort of bullshit, they're bullshit. We made them up. The class system and everything. It's all blech. how much that affects how a person grows up, with not just like obviously the privileges they have and maybe the opportunities they have, but the way they carry themselves, the way they speak and their accents, all these different things is so crazy to me.
Which tax haven were you conceived in? Bermuda. Father was on a retreat writing dystopian fiction about a socialist future. Dare I say, I nearly thought it true, yes, quite. With the Jeremy Corbyn scare and the odd protest or two, it's all rather overwhelming what the flies might do when they gather the like-minded, and they do gather a few. Funny little angry things, aren't they, at times? They ought to count themselves lucky we don't force them in line. That's a few.
I love how I love the lighting, obviously, but I love this sort of weird, as the chase is still going on in the background on the old TV, we're seeing like basically this constant thing of someone from the, we'll say, working class running, being chased by, you know, the guards. We'll just do a blanket, you know, puppet of a royal class or a higher class. Just like perpetually stuck in this ongoing chase, just like history repeating itself, of just trying to stand up to the higher class and getting crushed. And then we have these guys, and we have him specifically, who, by the way, I love I really, really like his singing voice. I am digging the hell out of this. But just the cutting back and forth between just like the dark glasses, you can't see his eyes, and like he seems, again, very aloof, to then when the ones you do see his eyes, he's looking half the time like right down the camera and looking very like kind of, there's a tenseness to him, and still like he's trying to pull off aloof, but you can tell there's all this rage deep inside of like, why can't they just do what the fuck they're told? Like gripping that little map of the brain, just kind of keeps gripping at it. The guy with the mask there, again, making it look it looks almost like 7 different time periods at once, which I really, really think is a cool touch. I like that a lot. Talking about what the flies will do. And I know that I saw a glass, a bug in a jar, or not a jar, in a case, which I hope they don't show much more of, but if it's a spider, which I think it was, I don't know, think about it, I'm afraid of spiders, then that works with the whole fly thing. I'm in. This is fucking awesome.
They ought to count themselves lucky we don't force them in line. That's the future I aspire to. A little more control. For safety, of course, as safety is always an honest goal. We'll keep them scared, blame terrorists, or the fear of God above. If we change the people, they won't change us. See?
That's a good... I'm sitting here smiling at these, like, kind of horrific, like, very dark lines, but it's just because it's so good. If we change the people, they won't change us. It's a very good line. No wonder this got recommended to me along with Rent and stuff. Hell yeah, it did. This makes total sense. And again, like, looking very... of two minds of, like, the kind of character he's portraying looking threatening, but also it's the performer going, listen to what I'm saying, pay attention.
Change the people, they won't change us. See an open road to escalate your life. I see an open road to escalate your life. I see an open road to escalate your life. I see an open road to escalate your life.
Fuck. I can't actually tell if that's actually a spider or if it's like, I can't look close enough because I am very afraid of spiders, so I can't really look. It looks like a tarantula that's been almost crushed. It might be nothing. It might be just like, it might even be next time. Maybe something they made. I have no idea. It looks almost like a spider that's been crushed, but I can't look at it too closely because I'll have a panic attack. But if it is, that's a very cool sentiment of, you know, if the spider represents the royal family, then it being, you know, kind of mangled. And also, in case I'm going way off of a metaphor that like might not even be the case, but let's pretend it's true. The idea that it's like mangled and like not really alive, but also still in the glass case of like you're still supposed to look at it like the royal family. is still a symbol is kind of great. And of course, played chess with the kings and queens. This is really cool. Yeah. That was cool. I liked that a lot. Shoot. So I used to listen to like kind of, I like that the lyrics are so full of, not even, I guess rage, more like contempt. Just such contempt, as well earned for the bullshit that is everything. But also manages to sound pretty, and I always kind of enjoy that. Although I do love me just like an angry, loud song. I think ones that can sound melodic while also being very intense lyrically are cool. He's got a way with words. I gotta look up this guy more, because that was fantastic. He also looks like a little baby. How old is he? He looks like a baby. So there we go. I'm so glad that I randomly did that. Thank you, Spotify, for the recommendation. I don't know if this guy's popular. I have no idea if I'm going to post this and only get like 2 views. That's fine. I'm happy I did this. And there we go. That's all I got. I'm going to hopefully stop coughing and then maybe record something else today. Bye, everybody.